you with the box. What was in the box? What's in the box?
Not till you give me the
What's in
gun.
the box?
Hey everyone, this is Jason Robinson from Illustration by Design, and today I have not one, but two independent comics to unbox and review today. So, just wanted to check them out and see what we have. First we have one by, as you can see here, Gabe Eltaeb. He is a comic book artist and creator. He used to work for DC Comics as a colorist, and now he is working for independent comics, both on his own pieces, his own books, and also for other people, doing coloring for them. So we have this book, and then we have another one by, what did I say? Per Berg. And not sure if this is his real name or not, but he's more commonly known as Narwhal in independent comics, and I believe this is a book that I ordered from him a couple months ago. So let's unbox them, check them out, and see what we have. And afterwards I will be doing a review on both of them to see how they were. I don't know. So I'm looking forward to checking them out. Let's look at Gabe's first. Now, Gabe's book is, I believe, is called Truth, Justice, and the American Way. And there has been some controversy with this book. It was, he originally was working on it with comic creator David Williams, and there was a falling out between them at some point, and some dispute on who created these characters, who they belong to. Not sure if that was ever resolved or not. Originally, David Williams was supposed to do the art on the book, and he and Gabe together were supposed to write the book and create the book together. Then they split ways, a fair ways into the actual creation of the book, and Gabe had to take over the art duties from David and allow the preliminary artwork that we saw and loved, which encouraged people to buy the book, as far as I know, is not being used in this final comic book. So the art that we originally bought the book to get is not in this book. This is Gabe's artwork rather than David Williams. So there's a question, and the people who bought it, like me, is this going to be as good of a book as we'd hoped it would have been when David Williams was originally going to draw it? I don't know. So let's crack it open and check it out, see what we see. All right. Oops. Did I get all the... Oh, there we go. There we go. Now it's open. Now, fortunately, Gabe has put this in a lovely Gemini mailer, so it is well protected. Seems to be in good condition. Let me crack it open. Psst, look at that. Gemini comic supply. Just what we all want to see when we buy a new comic book. All right, crack it open. Psst. All right. Now, I don't know how many pages this is. I believe it's 64. I'm not sure, maybe 48. But this is the package. Here are the characters. You can kind of see them. Let me open this up. All right. It's in... Is this it's in a comic book bag. Oh, there we go. I was like, where's the opening? All right, here we go. It's bagged and boarded. Not the best bagging and boarding, but it's okay. It's protected. That's what I care about. All right. And it comes with 3 cool-looking trading cards. Let's take a closer look at them. All right, and a sticker. Ooh, very nice. And again, this is all Gabe Eltaeb's artwork, as opposed to the original artist's David Williams artwork. So, let me put some more light so you can see some of this. So I can see some of this. All right, very cool. I think this is a sticker. And these are the 3 characters. You got Truth, the woman here. You got Justice, the guy in the middle, and you got the American Way right here on the end. Looks nice. Nice artwork. Yeah, and this is a sticker, I believe. So, very cool. Very, very cool. Put that to the side for later. And you got some trading cards here. You got Truth. Very nice. She's got some sort of energy baton, energy staff. Oops, there we go. Now you can see it. Gotta make sure to keep this on camera. Got an energy staff there for Truth. Who is this? It got Justice here, made out of metal, sort of like I guess a Colossus type character, just based on the artwork, the American Way. And you got Justice here, sort of I guess he's like a Punisher / Batman vigilante character, and very cool. Again, nice artwork. Honestly, not as good as David Williams, the original artist. So, and that's going to be a problem I have to kind of get over. I was so looking forward to seeing David Williams' artwork in this book because I love his art. He has a very dynamic, very animated style that really appeals to me, and I have to try to get over my disappointment in not getting that in terms of and sort of judge this book based on its own merits without sort of the expectations I had for it. So you have to be patient with me in that regard. Oh, and another little sketch card. Very cool. Now, do these have information? Oh, yeah, it has information about the characters, I think, on the back. Yes, it does. Yes, awesome. Very good. Okay, cool. It says, Truth, Justice, American Way, early backer. Oh, I was an early backer. Thank you. You should be proud of yourself. You're part of the elite. You are truly making a difference in the world. People like you are amazing in your unwavering support of great projects like Truth, Justice, American Way. We can preserve this amazing culture that has given us all so much by creating great art that always celebrates our values and inspires generations to come. I can't thank you enough. Signed, Gabe Eltaeb. Oh, very nice. Very nice sentiment, very nice card. I like the sketch card thingy dingy. It's not original art, but I like sketchy artwork, so that's cool. Very nice. And then you got information about Truth. How tall is she? She's 5'10". Oh, very cool. She's only 27. Young lady. A young lady. Oh, it has her powers here. Very cool. Her powers are super strength, speed, dexterity, and most frighteningly, the clarity. A psionic connection that reveals the truth painfully. So she's sort of like a Wonder Woman without the lasso. Cool. All right. Let's see. Let's see American Way first. American Way. What are his powers? He's super strength, speed, dexterity, and invulnerability. Very cool. He's also 27. And he weighs 475 pounds. He must eat a lot of carbs. Okay. And you got Justice. Can you see that? There we go. His powers. Okay, he's a master of fire. He has no powers. He's like Batman. He's a master of firearms, explosive combat vehicles, and various martial arts. Okie dokie. And he's just a normal guy. And nobody knows how old he is. Okay, cool. Anywho, those are the three main characters. Very cool. Got some more info on them. Got this. What is this? These are postcards? Look like postcards. Oh, they're like little mini posters. They could be postcards, though. Very nice. Nice artwork by Gabe Eltaeb. I like saying his name. I don't know why. I like his last name. It's a very cool name. 3 characters. Very nice. And then 3 characters again. Very nice. Cool. That seems to have a lot of stars for the American flag. Is that correct? This flag looks a little dicey to me. I'd have to. I'm sure it's fine. I'm just trying to figure out the stripes. Should have 13 stripes, 50 stars. I'm sure it's fine. Yeah, looks nice. Good artwork. Very cool. All right. So those are the extras with this book. You got 4 cards, a sticker, 2 postcards. Very nice, very nice. Put that aside. Now, let me look at the actual book. I'm going to read the book after this unboxing and then come back with my review. All right. This... okay. Okay, this is fine. But this is an issue for me. When I originally ordered the book, again, David Williams was drawing it, and you got to choose what David Williams cover you wanted. Okay? This is not the cover that I wanted. It's not the cover that I ordered because, again, the artist changed. So, I guess we're being given an equivalent, but it's not an equivalent to what we ordered. This is not okay. It's fine, but this is not what I ordered. So, and again, nobody's going to get exactly what they ordered because the artist changed, so the covers have changed. But this is it's a nice cover, but had I been given the option, I probably would not have chosen this as a cover that I ordered. So, but I don't know what the other options are that Gabe has drawn. So, well, this is fine. I like the sort of style. I like the poses. They're cool. I wish they were bigger. If these characters took up more space, there's a lot of empty space on this cover, a lot of negative space, and that can be good, but for sort of a setup like this, I want it to have impact, and to me, impact means making it as large as possible without having all this sort of empty negative space around the two characters. This should be boom, and even his fist should be going over the logo. It should be very dynamic, and it's kind of it's good art. Should be bigger. So that's my initial thought looking at this cover. What's on the back? Okay, it's got that drawing of the three of them. Cool. And this is Gabe's new company, Big Man Comics. Because Gabe is a big guy. I think he's like 6'4", 6'5", maybe 6'6". I can't remember. He's a tall guy. Okay, let me just flip through this. Oh, cool. They got a little dedication for Adrian. It's probably his wife or his daughter or someone close to him. It says, "I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith." 2 Timothy 4:7. And for those of you who don't know, that's from the New Testament. All right. Now let me just flip through this real fast. My one question is, did he? Okay. Here we go. Oh, he did it. He did everything. He did the writing, the drawing, and the lettering for this book. First thing I noted. Well, I'll read the book and then give my criticism. Then let me just flip through it real fast. I'm not gonna dwell too much on. Interesting. Cool. It's a good looking comic book. It's a solid book. Gabe has been in the comic book industry for well over a decade, since the early 2000s, maybe the 90s. I can't remember, but man knows what he's doing. He's a great colorist. I've never read his writing before, so I don't know. I can't say. Once I read the book, I'll be able to speak on that. But it looks good. Looks like an interesting book. And let me just flip through. I'm looking for something in particular, and let me see if I find it. No, I did not. What I was looking for was, and hoping to find, was some of the original art that David Williams had done. And I was hoping that somehow they would have come to an agreement and had that inside the actual final product, but doesn't seem to be in there. But that's okay. I am still looking forward to reading this book and seeing what Gabe has done with these characters and find out what they're about. Again, I bought this book. When did I buy the book? A year ago? I think so. But so I've been anticipating this for quite a while. Yeah, I look forward to reading it and then getting back to you guys with my thoughts on the actual story and what these characters are all about. Okay, so we'll check back with you very shortly and let you know. All right, thanks. Don't go away. I'll be right back.
2 weeks later.
Okay, I'm back, and I finished reading Truth, Justice, and the American Way by Gabe Eltaeb, and I have to say that this is a pretty solid book, both figuratively and physically. I'll break this down into, I guess, several different parts. The presentation, the writing, the art, and the storytelling, which I kind of separate from the writing and the art. It's sort of a combination of the two. I guess in terms of presentation, it is a very nice book. Physically, it's very made of great paper stock, sort of cardstock for the cover, and front and back look really nice, hold up very well to usage. The interior paper is very nice as well, a very nice paper stock. It doesn't feel flimsy. There's none of that sort of rippling effect that you get when you oversaturate the paper with ink. Maybe a tad, but it's a very good paper stock. So physically, the book is very solid. Now, in terms of the writing is pretty good as well. In case you didn't know, this book is pretty much a commentary on modern day cancel culture, with the heroes of the book, these three guys, being beloved at the start of the story by the country, society in general, and then they are canceled at a point in the story, and then they are derided and seen as public enemy number one due to social media and false allegations and the like. So that is the basic story, basic plot. And the story itself is pretty good. I mean, it follows that sort of train fairly well. It's pretty easy to follow. It's not a really a deep book, but it definitely has a point of view, and it tells the story very well. And it kind of, I mean, you pretty much get a resolution at the end of the book. It's a all-in-one issue, more or less. So you don't have to worry about any real cliffhangers or anything. So it's a decent read, and it reads well. You know, flows from one page to another, pretty good. And yeah, I mean, the story told by Gabe is pretty good. Now, this was originally conceived by Gabe and artist David Williams, who I believe also had input into the story. I don't know whether, since their sort of disunion, I'm not sure if this is the original story planned exactly, if David had some input into the story or not, or this is wholly Gabe's story. I have no idea about that, but what's presented here in the final product reads pretty well. It's a pretty good story. It's not great. It's not groundbreaking, but it's an interesting story, especially in light of the cancel culture topic and how that might affect superheroes. Now, I mean, this topic has been dealt with before in comics. I guess, to my mind, most powerfully by Alan Davis in the DC comic story The Nail. But this is good too. I mean, it's not as good as The Nail, but this mainly because The Nail was set up very much as a mystery story. This, you know, from pretty much from the outset who the bad guys are. You know what they're doing and everything. So it's pretty laid out in the open. But it's a good story. It's decent. I should say overall, this reads as a very professional comic book. This is not what you would call or consider sort of a cheap independent comic book. It's done professionally. It's written professionally. It's obviously drawn and colored professionally, since Gabe Eltaeb is a longtime DC artist. So when I read it, I get very strong impressions of sort of classic 1980s DC comics. So if you like 80s DC comics, I'm not talking about like the Vertigo type stuff, but just the standard Superman, Batman, Shazam fare. If you like that stuff, you'll like Truth, Justice, in the American Way, and that's the feel that I got reading it, and that sort of segues into the art. The art is good. I mean, it reminds me a lot of Jerry Ordway, who was very well known for his work on Shazam and Superman back in the 80s and 90s, I believe. So it's very competent art. It was well done. I guess my biggest complaint with the book centers around the art, and I think it probably stems from my disappointment with David Williams not being the artist. David Williams, if you're not familiar with his art, he is a very dynamic artist. His art is full of energy, power, and is very impressive. Very animated type art. Now, some of the panels here, like this one, and again, this is all done by Gabe Eltaeb. Some of the art is very, it's pretty dynamic. Like this panel is very good, and some of the other ones. But going through the book, I think what I was struck by was there's a lot of action in the book, but there doesn't seem to be that many action shots in the sense of in-your-face action. I mean, this one is one of them, which is good, but I guess I've been spoiled by, years of reading, and looking at art by guys like Neil Adams and a lot of the art you would get from Jim Lee and a lot of the guys from Image back in the 90s, where you want dynamic, impactful art when you read a comic book. And a lot of times when I'm reading this, it's just like I'm just not getting it. There's a lot of stuff going on, but a lot of times it's not that it doesn't have that oomph that I want from action comics. So I mean, just here you have the bad guys attacking some senators and stuff, and you have the superheroes that they're very small in a panel and they're fighting here, and when I'm looking at it, I can just imagine it in my mind as being much more explosive, like this character Justice. Why isn't he like bursting out of the panel as he's jumping towards this bad guy? I mean, why isn't he breaking the panel? Why isn't he larger? That's another thing. When I was reading the book, one thing I noticed is that the art seems small, and I'm trying to think of how to best express this. There seems to be like a lot of empty space, not empty space, but when the characters could be larger, they're smaller. Like in this splash panel, I mean, the characters are here, but I keep thinking, it's like, why aren't they bigger? Why aren't they taking up more space? Instead, you have all these little details of the trees. I mean, that's fine. It's background art. But, here on the cover, you have one of the heroes and the bad guys fighting, but you have all this empty negative space that, they're just clouds. Why aren't these characters bigger? Why aren't they taking up, 80% of the page instead of, I'm guessing, 50% of the page? And the rest is just like empty space. Why isn't American Way, why isn't his fist overlapping the logo? Why isn't he bigger, like from here to here? Why isn't this bursting out at the reader? To sort of draw us in, make us feel like we're part of the action. It's and that was, to me, it was frustrating when I was flipping through it, because in my mind's eye I kept on thinking, it's like, this could be better. This could be more powerful, more in your face. And these are really sort of dynamic characters. You have like a Batman analog. You have I guess this guy's supposed to be like Colossus or Superman. This is Wonder Woman sort of character. And so why aren't they doing like really? Why aren't they drawn in a way that screamed power and action? It was just kind of frustrating to me. And looking at the layouts, again, a lot of empty space here and here. Why aren't these panels? I understand page layout and making it look interesting, but it just seems like a lot of wasted space, like here and here. There's no, if Gabe had made these panels bigger, he could have made the characters bigger as well. You know, here, you know, top of the page. Why is this all just white, empty space? Here with this giant, I guess, like energy whale here. It's like the energy whale compared to the panel it's in, it's like tiny. It's just this. Why is this empty space all just empty? I'm not sure I understand why. And again, there are some panels that are really cool. I like this one with I guess her name is Truth. I wish she were bursting out of the panel, you know, because she's jumping at the viewer. So I kind of want to feel like she's jumping out of the panel. So why isn't her hair like coming out there? You know, here, you know, her lower leg, why isn't that bursting out the bottom? Since this isn't the way he arranged it, these are supposed to be diagonal panels. He's left this negative space here where he has the word balloon breaking out of it. Why not part of her body to make it look like she's bursting out of the panel? And I just felt that throughout the book. Here, look at this panel. I mean, this page. Again, all this negative space. Why? Whereas the opposing page shows that he could have filled it up with something. You know? Oh, at least here he has American Way breaking out of the panel here. But again, why isn't he breaking out on both ends so that you can make him as big as possible and showing him just bursting out? That's my main complaint with the art. It's not powerful enough. It's not dynamic enough. It's good. It's okay. It's professional, but it's not as powerful as it should have been. Again, a lot of negative space. A lot of negative space for no reason. A lot of negative space. It's not because he couldn't draw it to the edge of the panel, because he's obviously doing it here. He's doing it on the bottom on you know, some of the previous pages. So that's the area he could have drawn in, but for whatever reason, you know, he's doing some of the word balloons, but for some reason Gabe just chose not to. And I wish he had made this art bigger, because when I was reading it, it felt like full page art that had been shrunken down to, I don't know, 80% of what it should have been. You know, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing like all this space. It just feels like this should have been a full page, you know, drawing, and it was, for some reason, it was just reduced down to, you know, 80%. Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm getting this in the screenshot, but yeah, it just feels like this should have been bigger. This whole page, boom, blown up, so that you wouldn't have all of this negative space at the top and on the sides and on the bottom, just sort of wasted. So, you know, but again, the art is good. I just wish it were more dynamic. Now, that leads me to the storytelling. The storytelling for the book is okay, but there were some times when I was reading it and it just didn't make a lot of sense. I guess the first time was when, you know, you're reading the story, very beginning, and they're, I guess, fighting this pirate type character here, and it gets to a point where is it? They're fighting back against him. They're attacking him, and you know, you're looking at the pages, blah blah blah. Okay, he's attacking the city with this giant energy whale, and it gets to a point where, let's see, they're talking about getting to a bus. Get to the bus, and he says, we have a school bus to save. And I'm thinking, it's like, well, what school bus? I mean, I didn't understand what school bus they were talking about. And then I flipped back some page and I saw, okay, there's a school bus here, but there's a bunch of other cars. What makes a school bus be in particular danger? There's no indication in the story or in the art that that school bus is targeted by the villain. So it was not made clear that for some reason they had to save this school bus more than anyone else, any of the other pedestrians on the ground. So that was confusing to me. And after they saved the school bus is pretty much ignored for the next action sequence, where instead of running to save the school bus, they jump on his whale and they start fighting him. It just didn't make any sense. And even here, they show the school bus big, but it wasn't clear that the school bus wasn't in any danger until probably 2 pages later, when you see American Way in front of the school bus, and then he stops the whale. And I don't know. It's some of the storytelling was a little dicey to me, but overall, it was a good book. I enjoyed it. If I had to break it down in terms like a scale 9 to 10, 1 to 10. If I had to break it down to a scale of 1 to 10, I guess I would give the presentation, of the book. I give a 10. I mean, it's a solid book. It's a nice book. The writing, I would probably give this a. I mean, it was competent. It was well done. I'd probably give it a 7. In terms of the art, I would give it I'd probably give it a 7. I mean, it's good art. Like I said, I just wish it were more dynamic, and I think that would have made the book much more entertaining for me to read. So, and in terms of the storytelling was unclear at times. Overall, it was good. I'd probably give the storytelling a 6. It wasn't hard to figure out, but I just don't like, when I'm reading, having to flip back to find out what I missed because the way it was explained in the book wasn't clear to me. So overall, I'd probably give the book, I give the book a 7 on a scale of 1 to 10. Like I said, it's a well-made book. It's a competently written and drawn book, professionally done. It's just, I just think it could have looked a lot better. And again, it's just, I don't know, wasted space, wasted opportunities to make really dynamic action sets. And I don't know if this is a continuing book, comic book. Like I said, this is an all-in-one issue. But what Gabe's done here is pretty good. And I think that anyone who bought the book will be satisfied. I am disappointed, again, however, that there is no art from the original artist, David Williams, because he did create quite a bit of art before he and Gabe split ways. But I guess that's between them. They would have to arrange that for that to be put in a book. But again, decent book, well made, well put together, and yeah, 7 out of 10, I would say. So that's my review of Truth, Justice, and the American Way, and I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know your thoughts. Did you get this book? Did you order it? Did you like it? If you got it, let me know. Let me know down below. Let me know your thoughts and what you think about it. Okay? Well, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. If you like this review, this video, please hit the like button and give this review a thumbs up if you would, and hit the bell for notifications of future videos. I'd appreciate that. So I will talk to you guys later. All right? Thanks again. Bye. Okay, and next we're going to be looking at Narwhal's book, also known as Per Berg. Again, I don't know if that's Narwhal's real name or not. That could be yet another alias, yet another moniker to add to his collection of personas. But I'm going to crack this open and see what it is that I got in the mail from him. Narwhal is a very interesting character in comicsgate. A very creative guy. His art style is very animated looking. When I say that, I mean it's just very simplistic in a way, but very dynamic, very action-oriented, and very fun to look at. Now, I'm trying to remember, I think this is... This story, I don't believe, is drawn by him, though. It's drawn by an artist who I really like. Her name, well, I'll crack it open and we'll see. I believe she worked on the books Monster MD and also the book Terror in the Trenches, which I haven't received yet, but I'm looking forward to getting. All right. Oh, again, a Gemini mailer. And it's taped. It's been sealed shut, hermetically sealed to protect it from possible damage, which is good. I like that. Let me just slice this open. All right, here we go. And I believe I got 2 books in this package from Narwhal, both written by him. Wow, this thing it is taped very well. What is this he's put it in? It's not, doesn't seem to be like a standard comic book bag. We'll find out. We'll discover exactly what we've gotten from Narwhal. All right, here we go. Now, as you can see, it says right there, Narwhal, and we'll find out exactly what it is. You got a little mouse here with a little glowing nose. I don't know what that's about. Now, this thing, what is this? It's not a standard comic book bag. This is, I don't know what this is. He put this in, but as long as the book is protected, that's all I really care about. So we'll deal with it. All right, let's see. All right, now we got 2 books in here. There are no extras that I can see. All right, this book, top book, is called, if you can read it, CERBERUS. CERBERUS. I believe that's the name of the 3-headed dog that guards the gates of Hades. But this is a mystery novel starring animals. And again, we'll see how good it is. Oh, here's the second book by Narwhal called Cave Slave. And did he draw this? He didn't draw the cover. This is drawn by a different artist. Very beautiful art. Great art. Oh, no, the art is by Donal Delay and Narwhal on the inside. The cover is by Nicholas Hunter. Okay. So Nicholas Hunter did a great job on the cover. Very nice. Very good girl art. Let's see. I'm trying to think of... Yeah, this is... I'm trying to think. What did Donal Delay do? Donal Delay did most of these figures, and I think Narwhal did the cave girl herself, because this is Narwhal art right there. Yeah, looking at it, I believe Narwhal did the cave girl herself, and then Donal Delay did all the other figures and artwork. That's what it looks like to me. And I'm just sort of flipping through it. Yeah, see, I mean, look at this. It's very, very animated, action-packed, quick sort of gesture drawings. That's what Narwhal does. He's very good at it. And I believe he does do animation. And it shows. It's great stuff. Ooh, got a card. What is this? What is this? What is this? Narwhal Mafia. Ooh. Ooh, am I a member of the Narwhal Mafia now? Ooh, do I get a gun? The recipient of this card is hereby deputized as a bounder. What is that? What's a bounder? In the best interest to greater glory for the 13th sponsor, present this card to the gatekeeper at the threshold for safe passage through the ward. Through the ward, is that the psycho ward? Report recruited contenders to Narwhal for bounty issue. I do not know what this means, but I should probably keep it in my wallet just in case, because when the robots take over, this might come in handy. All right, let's see. What is this? Narwhal sticker. Interesting. Okay, cool. Very nice Narwhal sticker. I don't know why it was hidden inside the comic book itself instead of out in the open, but maybe that was just to make sure that people actually read the book before they found that hidden treasure. But again, flipping through it, looks interesting. Looks like an interesting book. I have no idea. I have a rough idea what it's about. But I mean, look at that. This is crazy, crazy Narwhal art. Great, fun, cool artist. From what I've heard, he's a good writer as well. But I have to read this and get back to you on that, let you know. But that's Cave Slave, the shorter of the two books. This one, Cerberus, is a thick tome. It's a thick boy. THICC, thick. Trade paperback, very nice. I like it. Like the cover. Oh, and the art is by Monika, I believe. Monika is on the back. No, it's not on there. Actually, let me read the back. When Lee Button's human master is murdered, he begins an investigation to find the killer. His only lead, it was another dog that did it. Lee's investigation will take him through the animal kingdom of the city of Seattle, Washington, as he parallels a human investigation happening in tandem. Ooh, and that is Lee Button right there. And I guess that's the killer. A one-eyed, one-eared dog. Interesting. But look at the artwork. Artwork is beautiful. Very nice. Very sort of Don Bluth animated style. And it is done by, who was the artist? Monika something, I believe. It's right here. Monika Maccagni. Maccagni. I apologize for butchering your name, Monika. You are a fantastic artist, though. Very, very good. I love your art. I look forward to getting your other books and reading this book. It's just very, I mean, look at this stuff. This is great work. She is a great artist. Wow. And the fact that she's done numerous books over the past few years, I mean, she's also very fast, which is great. Wow. I'm really looking forward to reading this book. Been hearing a lot about it, and again, between the artwork and Narwhal's writing, which again I'm not familiar with that much, but this is one of the books I've been looking forward to. It looks good. So is that Commissioner Gordon? Is that Commissioner? I think that's Commissioner Gordon. And is that Batman? Ooh, I can't wait. This could be a hidden Batman book. I don't know. We'll find out. Oh, okay, cool. And it has like a script and art on the tail end, pardon the pun, of this story. Drunk Monkey. It has a little extra story in here too. Drunk Monk. Okay, cool. Neat. Interesting. And this is art by Narwhal. Okay, cool. You can see Narwhal's, sort of animated style. Ooh, uh-oh. Sorry. Turn your eyes, children. Hopefully you didn't see that. Yeah, looks good. Very, very cool stuff. So that is the unboxing for Cerberus and Slave. Oh, Cave Slave. Cave Slave. There you go. Cave Slave. And I'm going to check both these books out. I'm going to read them and then get back to you guys with a report on how well Narwhal and Monika and Donal Delay do in presenting these stories to us. Just on first glance, they look really good, and I look forward to checking them out for myself and then getting back to you with my reviews. So, guys, stay tuned. Don't go away. I'll be back soon. Okay? Thanks. Hey, and by the way, if you haven't done so already, make sure to hit the like button, okay? And make sure to subscribe to my channel. I do a lot of comic book reviews like these, and I also do illustrations and drawing live streams and the like. So if you guys are interested in any of that stuff, please make sure to subscribe, hit the bell for notifications of future videos, and make sure to hit the like button. All that stuff, it all helps the algorithm for YouTube and helps my channel and helps expose it to more people. So I'd appreciate it if you would. Thanks. But I will be back shortly with my review of these two books. And let me know your thoughts if you've gotten them as well. Okay? See you soon. Bye.
1 week later.
Okay, I'm back. and I finished reading Narwhal's two new books, Cave Slave and CERBERUS. And they're both interesting books, but I have sort of different opinions on both of them. So let me start with Cave Slave first. That one's a shorter comic, and this one's about, I don't know, 24 pages, I guess, 22 maybe. Cave Slave is an interesting book. It's not bad, but for me at least, it's not confusing so much as it strikes me as unfinished in a sense. Now, I guess let me try to break this down. I guess, first of all, it doesn't really have a beginning or an end in the sense that it sort of starts in the middle of a ongoing storyline with this character. The character is already a slave, and it sort of covers a couple days in her life and some adventure she has. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I guess I tend to have problems with stories where I don't really have a lot of backstory on a character, and it just sort of throws me right into the action, and I have to sort of try to figure out what's going on in the midst of it. It's not a bad book. It's an interesting book, but I think it could have been told better. Let me look at it. Okay, Okay, looking at it, I guess it's actually not written by Narwhal. It's written by von Klaus. Stories by von Klaus and Narwhal, and art is by Donal Delay and Narwhal. Colors are by Narwhal, and cover again is by Nicholas Hunter. As the story begins, slave girl, cave slave rather, is already a slave, and sort of goes through who's enslaved her and all this stuff. It's just, when I was reading it, I spent half the time trying to understand the situation she's in, what's going on, who the other characters are, and it just took me a while to sort of understand the dynamics of not only her situation, but the culture she's in and what exactly is going on. And I guess it just sort of frustrated me a little, trying to get to a point where I had a solid idea of what was happening. So, with that said, it's a decent book. I guess I'll break it down in terms of, again, the four factors: the presentation, the writing, the art, and the storytelling. The presentation is great. It's a great looking book. Good cardstock for the cover. I mean, it's a solid comic book. You know, if you think of classic comic books from the 80s, 90s, 70s, it doesn't feel like that. It's obviously cardstock, which, you know, it's not newsprint. It's made of good paperweight. Interior pages, great paperweight as well. Colors are great. So it's a nice looking book. Writing to me was, again, a little unclear. It wasn't confusing so much, but it was a little unclear. And again, I had to, for such a short book, I had to sort of try to put together the pieces to try to figure out exactly what was happening. And I think part of the reason why it took me a while is because of the art. The art is a little, I'm sorry, this is like a glare, but because the paper is so shiny. But the art can be a little confusing on this book as well. And part of the reason is because of Narwhal's art style. Again, Narwhal only drew the cave slave herself, the main character, and then Donal Delay drew the other characters. Donal Delay's artwork is much easier to interpret, understand, than Narwhal's is, because Narwhal's style is, like I said before, it's very gestury. It's very much like storyboards for a cartoon or animatics. I always pronounce that wrong. Animatics, rough animation for an animated story. It's very sketchy, and so sometimes when the character's doing things like, I mean, I have to try to figure out exactly what's going on, because he'll draw her without feet sometimes, and I'm like, what am I looking at? Are those her arms or legs? I can't tell. So part of the problem for me was trying to figure out exactly what Narwhal had drawn. It's not a bad artist. I mean, in many ways he's a great artist, but his artwork again is sometimes hard to decipher for me, and it makes the story confusing when sometimes it doesn't have to be. Other times he does great stuff, like here. I mean, this is just beautiful, action-packed artwork, great stuff. So it's the story though by von Klaus and Narwhal is good. Once I reached the end of the story, I wanted more. So it's a good story, interesting plot, how she gets from point A to point B in terms of her position in society and everything. It's an interesting story. The art, which I touched on earlier, is pretty good. It's Donal Delay's art. I like it. It's stylized, yeah, pretty angular, but I like it. It's an interesting look. Again, my main problem was trying to figure out what Narwhal was doing. And again, I think it's just a style I have to get used to. This is my first real book with Narwhal's art in it, and so I have to get used to his style. And then I think once I do, I'll be able to appreciate it more and understand it better. So the art is pretty good overall. The story, no, what was it? Art, writing, presentation. Oh, last, the storytelling. Storytelling, because of the confusion with Narwhal's art, I think it hurts the storytelling a little. But again, once I understood what was going on and what Narwhal was doing, it all fell into place. So storytelling, especially once the action gets started, I'm into it. So it's just cool stuff. I mean, it's just a lot of cool, weird action poses by Narwhal. So great expressions by Donal Delay. So great. It's good. It's good. So overall, I guess I would give, breaking it down, 1 to 10. Let's see. Presentation, 10 for Cave Slave. Writing, I give it a 7. I like the writing. I thought once I understood what was happening in the story, I liked it. Interesting story. I want to read more, find out more about the character. So it was good. The art, I would give a 6. Not because they're bad artists, but because it could have been told much clearer. The art could have enhanced the story a lot better. And I think it was wise to have Donal Delay do the bulk of the art, because I think if it was all Narwhal doing the art, it just would have been more confusing for me. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad that Narwhal did do the art for the main character, because I mean, he does some sweet action shots in here, and I don't know if Donal would have done something as dynamic as Narwhal did, but he may have. I don't know. We'll never know. But so overall, I give it a 6. Storytelling. I guess I give it a 6 as well. So again, confusion. Me not completely understanding because of the art. Like I said, I think it hurt the storytelling. So of the writing. So what score should I give it? I give it a 10. Presentation, 7 for the writing, 6 for the art, and then 6 for the storytelling. So overall, what would I give this book? I think I give it a 7. I give it a 7. It's a pretty good book. It could have been better. And again, I would chalk that up to the art not being completely clear a lot of times, and that hurting the story. So I would give this a 7. I like the book. I would like to see more of this character, more of the story that this book started, and hopefully this will be an ongoing series. I don't know, but we'll see. But overall, good book. I liked it. And that leads us to CERBERUS, which was, I think, written by Narwhal completely. And it doesn't have his art. Instead, it has another artist, Monika Maccagni. and again, I apologize for butchering your name, Monica, but this book is great. This book, it's it's in many ways, I had the exact opposite reaction to this, to Cerberus, than I had to Cave Slave. Cave Slave, even though it's short, I found it a little confusing and hard to read in some ways, because I was constantly flipping back pages trying to figure out what's going on, what just happened. I did not have that problem with Cerberus, and the main reason for that is because of the fantastic, phenomenal, amazing art of Monika Maccagni. If you haven't seen her art, I encourage you to look her up. Look her up on Facebook and Twitter and follow her, because her art is phenomenal. If you like the classic animated cartoons, animated films from the 1980s, Rescuers Down Under, or Secret of Nim, or Fox and the Hound, All Dogs Go to Heaven, this art, the art that she creates in this book, is very reminiscent of all those, and it has the action, the excitement, the visual sort of kick. Even though the book is dark. I mean, the book, well, both literally and figuratively, it's the colors are pretty dark in this book through most of it. I mean, there are panels, I can find them, where you can see what's happening. There's one, but for the most part, they use pretty dark tones in this book, and so you kind of have to keep an eye out for what's happening. But the art is it's like looking at animation cells from a great animated movie. Just phenomenal artwork by her, and it really, really helps the storytelling and understanding what's going on. Everything is so clear. The artwork is so clear. The faces, the costuming is so distinctive from character to character that you don't get confused. You don't wonder who is this, what's going on, and everything. So that is a huge plus for this book. So let me break it down again into 4 factors: the presentation, the writing, the art, and the storytelling. The presentation, very nice. This is a trade paperback style book. It's how many pages? I don't know how many pages this is. This is, I have no idea. This is I'll say 48, I guess, pages. I don't know. And then it has like a short story at the end. But it's in trade paperback format, so it's a soft cover, very nice. I like it very much. Good paper stock. If you've seen trade paperbacks, you know what they look like. This is very professionally done, well made. So I would give this a 10, presentation wise. The writing is very good. Very, very, very good. Very clear, very understandable. And I find that I had very much the opposite reaction that I had when I was reading Cave Slave. Now, I know there are 2 different writers. You had von Klaus actually writing Cave Slave, whereas Narwhal only helped with the story for that book. And they both have a similar sort of the ways they're positioned. Neither of them start at the beginning. They both sort of start mid-story, but I found Cerberus much easier to understand. As soon as you open the book and you start reading, this is a mystery book. Okay, there's been a man who's been murdered. His girlfriend is missing, and their dog is the one who is trying to solve the case of who killed him. Actually, it's the dog, and also the police as well are separately trying to solve the mystery of this murder. And we're following mainly the dog's journey in terms of trying to find out who the killer is. And the book starts off at the owner's funeral, and then the police are there. These are the cops here. And then we have simultaneously the dog watching from a distance, and trying to figure out who killed his master. And then he has some clues, he has some ideas. He's going to go back to the house to figure out if he can find out more ideas, more clues, and then the story goes on from there. What I liked about the writing of this book was how well they this is gonna sound weird, how well they humanized the animals, the characters. I mean, it's an anthropomorphic book in the sense that, you know, we're reading the animals talking. So yeah, animals can't speak English, but it's a cartoon. So I mean, we're reading what the animals are saying, and they're talking. They're interspecies sort of, you know, conversations between dogs and rats, and, you know, owls and cats or whatever. And so it's so well done. It's just very engaging, and you get swept up into the mystery of what is going on and how they do it. And what I liked was they sort of, and I didn't understand this at first, because, you know, here you see like one of the mice, his nose is glowing blue, and I was like, what's up with that? What's up with that? Is that mouse like radioactive or something? What they did, I guess it was Narwhal and Monika, you know, the artist, sort of deciding to do this. What they did was they decided to portray the animal's natural physical abilities as superpowers, so that when, like, the mouse is smelling something, his nose glows blue. When a dog is hearing something, his ears glow blue. So it's like they're activating like their spidey sense, or their or their, you know, super hearing whenever it needs to be called into action. And I thought that was a really, really cool sort of visual trick they used to give you the idea that they're actively trying to use their physical skills to solve this case. And I thought it was very cool. Besides that, the writing just flows. I mean, it's like reading a really good mystery story, and it has all the elements that I like in mysteries. That riddles that you had to try to solve yourself. I mean, you didn't have to. I mean, they would give you the answer later in the book, but it was just very, very engaging. It gets the reader involved. Another thing I liked about the writing was the relationships between the animals. It's just, I wish I could describe this without spoiling it, but Narwhal did a really, really good job of making you like these characters, to sort of empathize with them and what they're going through. It's just very interesting. I mean, I'll give one short spoiler. At one point, the main dog, Lee, he goes back to the farm where he was born, and he visits his mom. And it's such a sort of touching little oasis in the middle of the story. And he's talking with all the farm animals he sort of grew up with before he got sold and everything, and they all remember him and everything. It's just really clever. It's really well done, and that sort of writing goes throughout the entire story, and I really, really liked it. Writing overall is just well done. I mean, I've never read Narwhal's books before, so I this being my first Narwhal book, I'm very impressed by his writing. He did a great job, and of course this book the mystery isn't solved at the end of the book. It's a continuing story, so there's another issue coming, but this definitely makes me want to read the next issue. It's just excellent. Very, very well done by Narwhal. So let's see, what's next? Art. Oh, well, as I already said, it's drawn by Monika Maccagni, and she did a phenomenal job. I wish I could say more without repeating myself, but great artist. I mean, if you, again, follow her on Facebook, follow her on Twitter, check out her stuff. I think, oh yes, I think I did. I got her other book, written by von Klaus. It's called Terror in the Trenches, with starring the 1940s superhero Black Terror, and that looks beautiful as well. She's a phenomenal artist, so great job, fantastic. Storytelling, combination between the writing and the art, great, well done. Monika's art really complements Narwhal's writing, and vice versa. Everything is clear. There's nothing confusing about it. You know exactly what's happening. You may not understand why it's happening just because it's a mystery story, but everything is very clear. And I mean, look at again. This is another sequence in a sort of a Chinese restaurant, and I just noted this one part where Lee is trying to sneak around to try to find some food, and the chef sees him, and this one, if you can see that, can you see that? There we go. Oh my gosh, look, imagine, look that light. This one little panel just sold that whole thing to me. I mean, it's just so action-packed, so dynamic. I mean, the chef throwing a knife and, missing the dog. It's just cool stuff. It's so cool. And the book is filled with this type of storytelling, and it's just beautiful. Love it. So, with that said, breaking it down, Cerberus, what would I give it? I would give it a 10 easily. Very, very well done book. I wish all comics were as good as Cerberus. The presentation, 10. Writing, 10. Artwork, 10. 11. I'll give it 11. The storytelling, 10. Great job by both Narwhal and Monika. Monika's name deserves to be on the cover right next to Narwhal's. So, I mean, she's oh my gosh. Maybe it's because I'm an artist, but I just appreciate really, really great art. And the art in this book, and knowing how fast she's able to create this artwork, I'm very impressed by her. So, but anyway, that's my review of Cerberus and Cave Slave. I keep saying Slave Girl, but Cave Slave. So hopefully you guys liked it. Hopefully my review wasn't too confusing for you. If you guys have gotten these books, let me know. Let me know down below what you thought if you got these books. If you like them, if you have different opinions of these books, you let me know down below. Like I said, this is my first time reading one of Narwhal's books, so some of you may be familiar with his work and have more of a knowledge of how he works. But again, I was very impressed by Cerberus, my first book by him, and then Cave Slave was pretty good too. So, oh, I forgot. In the back of Cerberus, there is a short story called Drunk Monk, and art and story were by Narwhal. In this one was very funny little short story, and again, it took me a little while to understand it a little. I don't know. I think it's just me getting used to Narwhal's artwork more than anything else. So once I get accustomed to it, I'll probably be able to get a quicker handle on what's going on. But again, I love his sort of animated, gestury drawings. It's just, sometimes it's a little hard for me to decipher, but it's good stuff. He's a great creator. So, anyway, guys, that's about it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please make sure to hit the like button, give this video a thumbs up if you would, and make sure to subscribe to my channel. I greatly appreciate it. And hit the bell for notifications of future videos. Okay, I think that's all. So, guys, you take care. Have a great day. I'll talk to you later.